All right, so today I'm breaking down exactly how I would approach starting a new blog this year. In this video, I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to make this process extremely simple, and I'm also going to share some things that blogging pros aren't going to tell you because frankly, they don't want to discourage you from getting started or maybe even just buying their course. So sit down, grab some notes, let's get into it. As background, at this point, I've been blogging for 8 years. Last month, I made $23,222 from my 2 blogs. This is fantastic. I'm grateful for this journey. Starting a blog is without question for me the single best financial decision of my life. But I will also need to point out that considering how long I've been at this, I'm nowhere near what other bloggers are making. Some are making $50,000, $100,000 or more in monthly revenue. And the fact is, some of these bloggers didn't get started until years after I did. So if you're watching this now, just know you really could not only catch up to where I'm at now, but surpass me in results even if you haven't started out yet. I really believe that. Is it too late to start a blog? My answer is definitely no, but you're gonna need to put a lot of sweat equity to make it happen using my process. This plan is simple, this plan is straightforward, but it's not gonna be easy. Ready? Let's dive in. So here we are, lesson number 1, keyword research and content volume is essential. Here's what I mean by that. For this video, I'm going to assume you want to start a written blog that gets most of its traffic from Google search. I'm also going to assume you want to make a full-time living blogging within the next 3 years. I believe this plan that I'm going to outline here gives you a real shot at doing that. These are the keys to the kingdom of blogging in my humble opinion. First, you need to start by writing about topics with search volume. You've probably heard this before. This simply means there are people searching for the topic you plan to write about. It sounds so simple, but most people either miss this or just get it wrong when they actually try to go about doing it. Since you are a new blogger, you won't be able to compete for competitive searches, things like stock investing or buy a house. So instead, you're gonna need to focus on less competitive, weird, or even long tail searches like how to start crawfish farm. And yes, this is a topic I actually do cover in one of my blogs. Since you are the new blogger on the block, you won't have as much authority in Google and are going to need to write about obscure topics that aren't covered in many other blogs to start building up little streams of traffic. Keyword research takes a little time to understand and implement. And if you're a new blogger, I would simply invest in a tool called rankiq.com. This is a tool created by the professional blogger Brandon Gailey. This tool basically picks out low competition keywords to write about and also gives you advice on the titles and the content length for future blog posts you're gonna write. These are nuances you can't really teach yourself right away. So I think investing $49 per month to use this tool is totally worth it. In my opinion, keyword research is just too advanced of a topic. It's too nuanced to master when you're just starting out. And it's a concept that's hard to wrap your head around until you've been blogging a while. So I would just sign up for RankIQ to get a list of topics to write about that makes sense for your blog and go from there. Just follow the process. By the way, I am not an affiliate to this program. I have signed up for Brandon's courses and I'm in his Facebook mastermind. In the past, Brandon's Blog Millionaire course, specifically for me, helped me grow 2 blogs to roughly 1 million page views a month. And I'm just sharing you this information because that's what I did and that's what's worked for me. The next concept is the thing most blogging gurus don't want to tell you about. But the reality is you're gonna need to publish an insane amount of content to make a full-time income blogging. I'm sorry, but 1 or 2 blog posts per month just isn't gonna cut it. 1 blog post per week won't cut it either. If you want to hit full-time income status in a short period of time, you've got to do more. In my opinion, you've got to hit a minimum of 5 posts per week on a new blog. This might sound impossible to do on your own, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this one. It's not going to be easy if you haven't written a blog post before. With all that being said, I'm going to share some ways to get it done even if you have a full-time job and a limited amount of time, just like I do. This requires commitment, but it's definitely not impossible. So why 5 posts per week? In short, the more topics you write about, the more traffic from search engines that you're gonna get. If you're only writing 1 post per week, I don't think you'll ever get enough visitors to actually make a living online. I'm sorry to say that, not anytime in this decade anyways. The reality is most written blogs that earn a full-time income have hundreds, if not thousands of pages on them published. Each one of these pages drive traffic from different searches. I've never met a blogger who is able to build a full-time income from a website website under 100 pages. Sorry, I've just never seen it happen. But by getting up to 5 posts or more per week, you're gonna condense the amount of time it takes to build a successful website. Just keep your head down, write, and follow this basic strategy with the help of a keyword research tool, and you'll get those results over time. By the way, this is literally the basic strategy I still use to build my 2 blogs that generate roughly 1 million page views every month. I'm literally teaching you the thing that I do. So the next question is, how are you gonna get up to 5 articles per week? Here are your basic options. So you can obviously block 4 or 5 hours of writing time to get it all done yourself each day. If you're still in school, maybe you don't have a job, I think you can do this. If you're married, try splitting up the work to hit 5 articles per week. Consider it a long-term investment with you and your spouse for the future. By the way, if you can get a partner on board with content creation, you guys can really make content fast, and I think this is a smart way to do it, but you have to have 2 people that both see the vision, which isn't always easy. Finally, you gotta hire out the writing. This is exactly what I do. Eventually, most bloggers I know end up contracting out writing work. Since there's only so many hours in the day to get things done, you can start by using sites like Fiverr.com to get someone to write blog posts, or outsource writing using onlinejobs.ph. By the way, I use both these websites to get content for my own blogs. You should too. I want to stress that as a year 1 blogger, you want to remain laser focused on creating content, publishing content, and growing search traffic to your blog. That's it. Some of these posts will be delivering visitors to your website for years to come, so think about this as a long-term investment. Lesson 2, hire out the tech help. So if you're not a tech expert, hire someone to create a nice looking WordPress website for you with basic optimization already built in. I'll include a link in the description to some of the exact people I've hired on Fiverr to get this work done. I trust them, they know what they're doing, and it'll make the whole setup process so much easier. Since you can get a WordPress website up and running for well under $1,000, I think it just makes sense to outsource this task. If you don't, you're gonna spend weeks, if not months, of valuable time troubleshooting how to set up a WordPress site. Instead of wasting time troubleshooting tech issues, I want you to spend that time writing content instead. By the way, I've been blogging for 8 years, as mentioned, and I still outsource this technical related WordPress setup work. I don't do it myself. Here are a few other things you'll need to start a blog. The first is a domain name from GoDaddy. This will cost about 20 bucks a year. You'll also need a web host to store the files online. That's about it. Lesson number 3, earn your first dollar. Now, the reality is you're probably not going to make any money blogging for the first 6 months. This is just how the business model works, and my story was no different. I didn't make a dime on my blog until I sold about $600 or so in advertising to a client about a year after I'd hit publish on my first post. By the end of your first year blogging, I would hope you're at least making a little trickle of revenue each month. And if you commit to this aggressive plan that I've outlined for you, you should be able to do that. So here are the main ways that new bloggers make money. Advertising. A lot of bloggers earn their first dollar by posting ads on their website. My situation was no different. I got started by publishing Google ads on my website. I don't think I ever made more than $400 in a single month using this approach, but it was eventually enough to cover my website hosting, my domain name fees, and other expenses in the early days. It's also just nice to see even just $2, $3 coming in a day through your writing efforts after a while. At the very least, it covers a few cups of coffee at the end of the month. Small wins like this count in the early days, and make sure that you celebrate them. Another option to post ads for new bloggers is called Ezoic, and I'll add links to both of these options in the description below. The next way to make money in the early days is to build an email list and then try to sell either a product or service. Depending on your blog topic, you might be able to start selling a product or offer a service to someone. Maybe you can write a book or a course on a topic. If you have a specific skill like website design, writing, accounting, video editing, social media marketing, or you've got some type of a unique consulting service, you could also offer and sell your time online in that way. I think this is a really smart approach to take in the early days. It doesn't take much time, and you might only need to get 1 or 2 clients over the course of an entire year to get a nice revenue boost using this approach and make it worthwhile to keep writing your blog in that time. It's really simple to implement. You don't need anything more than just putting up a web page and making an offer out there, and then adding an email intake form and adding your phone number, and then just put it out there and see if you get any response. That's it. That's literally all I would do for the first year of my my new blog, just focus on producing a lot of content. Here's a pro tip if you've stuck around this long. If you want to fast track and get faster results, the thing I would do is buy an existing domain with a little bit of traffic and search engine rankings. You can find some low-cost starter websites for a few grand on websites like blogsforsale.co or flippa.com. I'll add those links below. If you've got a little bit of money and want to fast track things by, I'm talking 6 months, 12 months, this is a really smart way to do it. You'll get results faster. It'll be more interesting on a domain that's already got some established credibility and age with Google versus starting a new domain that you just got off of GoDaddy. Personally, full transparency here, I will never start a blog from scratch again, and I would only buy a website with existing traffic. It just takes too much time for me to see results, but this decision all depends on your personal situation. My first blog, I started it 100% from scratch. So that's it for year number 1. Remember, focus on a nice looking website, get it there, then focus on creating content for low competition search terms and do a lot of it. I want you to spend 95% or more of your time publishing content. Don't waste time chasing down innovative ideas. Just stick to the basics and get really good at a lot of high quality content and building up that foundation of your little publishing business. So what do you think of this plan? Do you think you could actually publish out 5 posts per week? And what questions do you have about launching your first year blog? I'll respond to all legitimate comments below. I know the journey that you're on, and I really feel for you, and I want to help you out as much as possible. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.